Successful individuals use coaching and mentorship to help them unlock their potential. Not all coaches are created equal, and that's why we work with the top 5% of coaches at ideamix. Welcome to Coaches You Need, brought to you by ideamix.
Welcome to Coaches to Know, a podcast short by ideamix Radio. This brief podcast is designed to help you, our audience, understand what coaching is and how it can help you. I'm your host, Jamie, and today I'm here with Coach Rajika to discuss how to set boundaries in a hybrid work environment. Welcome, Coach Rajika, and thank you for joining us here today. So
Great to have you.
Thank you. So let's just start by introducing and telling, if you could just tell us a little bit back about yourself. How long have you been a coach, and sort of to give us a little insight into your background?
Yeah, absolutely. So I have been a coach for 5.5 years, and my background is I am a certified transformational coach, and I've been studying these transformational tools, for almost a decade. And originally, I was working in the healthcare industry for about 18 years, managing a practice, felt overworked, burnt out, and never appreciated. And it was a little bit hard for me, to walk away from, being in the healthcare industry because I really loved it. But I started noticing, how it affected my health, my relationship. It was not a place that was supportive of the life that I wanted to create. So walked away, pursued my passion of really helping people to change their life, and started going, went through certification, started really learning and teaching and really implementing these transformational tools for myself first. And then, that has been my journey. So yes, I'm a transformational life coach. I am a positive intelligence coach, and also a Reiki healer that I help my clients with, because there are different modalities that can support them.
Thank you. And tell us who your clients are.
So my clients who I, love to work with are busy professionals who are feeling that overwhelmed. They are feeling like it's just go, go, go. They're burning the candles on both ends. And, part of them wants to leave. A part of them is saying, hey, I want something different. But it's the fear of the unknown, the fear of, can I walk away? How can I walk away? And what happens in that place is that we get the fear is just so detrimental, and it just kind of collapses them into a place of like, no, it'll get better. And they kind of go into this dialogue of like, just hang in there, it'll get better. It's just this event or this project, right? And so it's really helping them to gain clarity on what is the life that they want to create and be in the driver's seat of their life. Really help them to reframe some of our limiting beliefs or patterns that we have created, because that has created the results that we are seeing in our lives, and really put the how on hold and really saying, okay, if I could do anything, or if I could change it, what would that look like? And really start helping them to take steps towards that.
Okay. So busy professionals who are sort of in a holding pattern, I would say, but feeling overwhelmed. And you help quell the overwhelm.
Yes.
Wow. Sounds like too, then you are the best expert to speak about healthy boundaries. So why don't we start by defining what is a healthy boundary? What does it look like? And are there any misconceptions around what a healthy boundary is and isn't?
Yeah. So, what are boundaries, right? What is a healthy boundary? It is being in a place where you are honoring yourself, honoring and taking care of yourself, as well as showing up as that professional, as that mom, as that dad in your life, right? I kind of say it, I kind of put it in this way: they cannot be any private good. it cannot be good for the employer and not be good for me. Because if I am burning myself out, if I am just extending myself beyond what I can and the capacity, it's going to have negative consequences in my health. It's going to have consequences in my relationship. And at some point, you're going to reach a place of anger or resentment because it's not going to be supportive of a life that you want. And it's not going to help you show up as that even more um, confident and really a person that is being of service and showing up fully for your team, for your life.
So appropriate boundaries is really about finding balance between our multiple identities, right? Because many of us, we are many things all at once. And so tell me a little more, let's explore like what do appropriate boundaries when you're setting them? What does that feel like for the individual?
This is a great question because I think, as you alluded to, we do wear different hats. And I know from a women perspective, as a woman, as a mom, as a wife, we are just the nurturers and we're taking care of everybody. So for us to really say no, or I can't do this, or I can't show up for a PTA meeting, or I can't volunteer, feels uncomfortable because we have had an image of ourselves that we need to be everywhere. And what happens is when we are doing that, not only are we overextending ourselves, but we are fearing that if I don't do this, maybe, I'm missing out on things. Or it could be also FOMO, right? Like I have to do this because if I don't do this, oh my gosh, how's this going to impact it? Or how is it going to impact my work? So I think it's setting healthy boundaries in early stages does seem uncomfortable because it's a behavior and pattern that you've had for such a long time. So it is shifting that and saying no, that I cannot do this. No, I would love to do this, but my schedule doesn't allow it. And maybe I can circle back with you at the next time. So I think it's changing, flipping the dialogue in our mind, saying it is okay to say no, not from a place of shame or blame, but really say it's okay to say no because I want to have a place where I show up even more for myself first, and for my family, and for the work that I'm doing in the world.
Thank you for that. So you've alluded to this and you've talked about it, but let's just clarify for the audience. What are the symptoms of having a lack of boundaries? Let's be specific about what that looks like.
So they are the few symptoms that I know I was experiencing was I was perpetually tired. I was not sleeping. I was having, sleepless nights because I was waking up in the middle of the night. Oh my gosh, I didn't do this. I didn't do this project, right? I had to get this out. So it was having interrupted sleep. And as we know that we need sleep in order to restore our health. And if we're not having good quality sleep, it is going to impact the productivity, our alertness, our mood, all of that. So sleep impacts your sleep or food choices because you just want that caffeine or you just want that boost of energy. So you might not be making the best choices, and that can lead to weight gain. You can feel sluggish. You just feel, you are not having that energy to show up fully. So I would say, and then relationships, right? Because you come home, you've had a rough day, you've had a long day. How are you showing up for your spouse or your kids or your partner, right? So we're not setting boundaries. Not only will it impact us, but it impacts the other spheres of our life.
So not having boundaries has knock-on effects for sort of the decisions that we make in our lives, right? And it sounds like sometimes people get in a sort of negative feedback cycle where they're around their decision making. At least that's not exactly how I want to phrase it, but they just are continuing to make bad decisions because they're not able to sort of pull it together because they're stretched so thin. Um, yes, I can relate. I think many of us listening today can relate to that. Let's delve into how can coaching help an individual sort of turn things around and get out of that negative cycle.
Yeah. So, coaching, how coaching is supportive and really empowering is number one, and the framework that I really help my clients to come from is really creating a vision of what is the life that you want to create, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years. And we encompass all areas of our life because often the culture is, work is the end all and be all. But really changing the dialogue of, yes, work is a component of my life. What are the, when I'm at work, number one, what do I want to create? What is the work that I want to produce? But also looking at the other quadrants of our life, which is our health, which is our relationship, which is the time and freedom that we have, right? So it's looking at the vision as a whole picture versus just saying, work is the only piece that we are coming from at all times, really. So I help them to create a vision that incorporates all 4 sectors. Why creating a vision is so important is because when we have a vision, a couple of things happen. Number one, what happens is we are looking at where we might be feeling out of alignment, right? Because we are feeling out of alignment is because we're not clear on what is it that we want. So we feel out of alignment, but creating a vision helps us to take the decision fatigue out. Look at the calendar and saying, okay, what do I have on my calendar? Is it really reflecting the life that I want to create? Where's the time that I'm putting in with my family? Where's the time I'm putting in for myself? Really reflecting. I think the biggest transformational tool that I help my clients work with is the calendar, is really creating a calendar that feels expansive and not a to-do list. Because we all have a lot of to-do lists, but we want to be in a place of who do I want to be in my life, looking at all 4 sectors. And it's the second part is how coaching will help and really transform it. We are shifting the dialogue of it's okay to say no, and it is honoring ourselves, but it's also changing the patterns and belief systems that we might have picked up, maybe seeing our loved ones, our parents, or other people in our lives model to us, and shifting it and reframing that inner dialogue.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. I love what you said about basically getting, laying out a vision and making sure that your calendar, which we so much, all of us rely on, is aligned with that vision. It's so practical and beautiful at the same time. But Coach Rajika, thank you so much for your time today. We are out of time. To our audience, if you would like to work with Coach Rajika or any of our other coaches, please visit us at ideamix.com. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening. Please subscribe wherever you listen and leave us a review. Find your ideal coach at www.theideamix.com. Special thanks to our producer, Martin Maluski, and singer-songwriter Doug Allen.